There's that. There's night and testing. Alright, we have output. Yay! Alright, let me quickly ring through the other things here. Alright. Comic books, sci-fi, fantasy, and more. If you're looking... Comic books. That's good. Sci-fi. Testing. And more. If you're looking... Testing. 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 Alright, now I can get down to business. Such as it is. Alright. Let's get my headphones on. Grab a stick of juicy fruit. The taste is going to move it. And stop that. Alright. Because really, I don't really have to hear myself. I mean, I already hear myself. I hear it through the monitor that comes out of the Focusrite. So really, I don't need the monitor that also comes out of that too. So, all right, let's get everything set. Let's get to it. Tonight, the Darksaber is a bad toy. Anson Mount wants to hear from outer space. Ajit Pai goes by, and remember Star Trek producer Herb Solo and Darth Vader David Prouse. All that and more on the sci-fi edition of Multiverse Tonight. Comic books, sci-fi, fantasy, and more. If you're looking for a roundup of geeky news, you're in the right place. This is Multiverse Tonight. And here's your host, Thomas Townley. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 104 of Multiverse Tonight, the sci-fi edition. I'm, of course, as said, your host, Thomas Townley. And, well, there's not really that much to say. You know, just went through the Thanksgiving Black Friday week, and boy, are my legs tired. I worked a really nasty schedule. I was on for 6 days. I had a day off. I was on for 2 more days, had another day off, and then was on for 2 more days. So it was on, off, not getting any kind of, really proper rest, like several days in a, couple days in a row. But that's always kind of, how work goes in retail. I did consider not doing an episode this week. I considered maybe I should take a break, but I already had the sci-fi edition done. I thought, well, I'll just get done what I get done. Maybe I'll take next week off, or maybe what is today's the very end of December. Excuse me for bumping the mic there. Maybe I'll take the week after Christmas off. Maybe just say thanks for thinking of me. Have a wonderful year, and just take that day off. Maybe I'll see. Anyway, let's get on with the Star Wars news. The High Republic series will feature at least one familiar face, Yoda, albeit one that's a couple of hundred years younger than he is in the movies. IDW released a preview of the much younger Yoda in the first issue of Star Wars The High Republic Adventures #1 aboard a ship called the Starhopper, taking some Padawans on a field trip. When the ship is called out on a rescue mission, Yoda has to guide his students through the problem. The issue is written by Daniel Jose Older, with art by Harvey Tolibao, and colors by Rebecca Nalty, and will be out in February. The Force is with one Darth Vader helmet. This screen-used helmet was recovered by police, according to TMZ. Police arrested a 38-year-old man for allegedly breaking into J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot Productions building in Santa Monica, California. The man made off with a pile of Star Wars memorabilia, including a Star Trooper helmet and the aforementioned Vader helmet. The man was easy to find, as he was pushing the stolen goods down the street in a shopping cart not far away. All of the items were returned to Bad Robot unharmed. And I know some people have mixed feelings about J.J. Abrams, but at least, maybe he should lock those up a little better. Or at least, get a Sith Lord to guard the helmet. The Star Wars Rise of the Resistance ride has won an award from the Themed Entertainment Association, or T. T said about the ride that was, quote, the most technologically advanced theme park attraction in existence today. The entire attraction, from front to back, is one massive magic trick that leaves riders gobsmacked and represents the absolute pinnacle of how our industry can entertain an audience at a theme park, the TEA said. The ride is in Florida, has opened up with restrictions, but the California version has been closed as the state has had to keep Disneyland closed for most of 2020 and probably for the beginning of 2021. My thoughts go out to all those who have been laid off. Hey, Mandalorian producers, Anthony Daniels would like to speak with you. The C-3PO actor told comicbook.com that he would love to make an appearance on The Mandalorian or any other Star Wars show. The legendary actor said, quote, I would like to appear in all of them. In all of the new shows, I would like to appear in The Mandalorian. Dave Filoni should be listening to us now. You have to realize there's something coming up before Christmas, but I'm not allowed to say anything about anything until it happens, okay? So the fact that I was in a studio some months ago is a little surprising, and Disney will be cutting off my feed any moment for mentioning the word studio and project. But I haven't said what it is. So that's for this year, and who knows about next year. Stay tuned, unquote. And I wonder if he was talking about the Star Wars Lego Holiday Special that they just put out on Disney+. I haven't sat down to watch it, but it looks kind of interesting. Maybe there's another secret project. Maybe they should bring back the Droids cartoon. That would give him something to do. The Mandalorian Darksaber toy has found itself on a very dubious list. Every year, Watch, which stands for World Against Toys Causing Harm Incorporated, puts out its 10 worst toys list. And for the 2020 list, there are a lot of toys, including the aforementioned Mandalorian Darksaber. On this list is a Marvel Avengers Vibranium Power FX Claw, which they worry about kids hitting or swinging at people or animals with it. It's being sold with a rating of 5 and over. The Calico Critters Nursery Friends. This set of cute critters is labeled 3 and plus with a throwaway packaging. However, it's a flocked animal, and yeah, those can break off and become choking hazards. There's a missile launcher from Toysmith aimed at 5-year-olds. Now, of course, that's potential eye and facial injuries. There's Gloria Owl by Jellycat. This cuddly plush owl is sold for babies as young as 12 months old. And nevertheless, it has long fiber-like hair, which is not accurately rooted. Of course, you can pull it off. Kids can eat it. There's the WW Jumbo Superstar Fist. Well, of course, kids hitting each other with blunt objects. The Scientific Explorer Sci-Fi Slime. This Supreme Slime Lab is marketed for children to create globs of gross, gloopy goop. And of course, there's a zinc sulfide pouch in there, which may cause eye, skin, and respiratory irritation, harmful if swallowed. And we all know kids like to, put everything in their mouth. The original Boomerang Interactive Stunt UFO for children. Of course, guess what? Getting a propeller to the head. Boom City Raiders Starter Pack. The Boom City race cars are sold with a ripcord launcher for children as young as 4. The manufacturer provides numerous warnings, cautions, including not to aim at eyes or face. The My Sweet Love Lots to Love Baby Minis. This mini baby set comes with accessories for doll use only, but sold for 2 years old. With a slender, rigid spoon is approximately 2.5 inches. Of course, kids can put in their mouth and try to swallow. And of course, the Mandalorian Darksaber. Guess what their problem with this is, folks? Young children are encouraged to swing for battle with this ancient black-bladed lightsaber made of rigid plastic with the potential for facial and other impact injuries. Of course, kids don't have money, adults do, so it's up to the adults not to buy these things. Just saying. Now, let's go to the Star Trek news. And we begin Star Trek news with Anson Mount, Strange New Worlds Captain Pike, who is joining a real search for alien life. Mount has announced that he's joining the board of METI, which stands for Messaging Extraterrestrial Life. The international nonprofit research organization creates and transmits messages out into space, searching for life on other planets. In a statement, Anson said, quote, "It is a distinct privilege to be asked to join the outstanding scientists, artists, and innovators that make up the METI team. I look forward to helping this organization expand its footprint in our cultural landscape and educate the general public about our endeavors to connect with extraterrestrial life intelligence through scientific methods as we continue to grapple with the implications of this work. As a Starfleet captain, it brings me unbridled joy to be able to say that I am actually sending out a hail," unquote. Now, METI is an extension of SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Life. And as you may have heard recently, the Arecibo telescope in Puerto Rico has been damaged beyond repair. So, that's going to hamper their efforts. But, good luck. Of course, if this is all simulation, there's nothing actually out there. And, maybe the programmer will just send back a message. Who knows? Anyway. Noah Hawley's Star Trek movie won't be happening anytime soon. I know, you're shocked. The director told Deadline.com in an interview. He told the site when asked if Star Trek was still in the cards at the new Emma Watts run Paramount, he said it didn't appear to be, quote, in the immediate future. I think when Emma came in, she took a look at the franchise and wanted to go in a different direction with it. But, life is long. We were very close to production, but in this business, that doesn't mean much. You got to get it out of the gate to be in the race, if you know what I mean, unquote. Yeah, I take that to mean that don't hold your breath. Star Trek is probably just going to be a TV-bound enterprise for the foreseeable future, which I'm okay with, as long as they produce, good, intelligent stuff. Now, speaking of good and intelligent, Sir Patrick Stewart and Eugene Roddenberry have been honored by the Young Artist Academy. Patrick Stewart was given the Lifetime Achievement Award, which was presented by Jonathan Frakes, and Rod Roddenberry was honored by Sir Ian McKellen. Rod Roddenberry and Sir Ian McKellen was honored with a Contribution to Science Award presented by George Takei. The Young Artist Academy is a non-profit organization dedicated to educating, protecting, and mentoring young artists in Hollywood. The virtual presentation is now on YouTube. Viacom CBS said this past Wednesday that it has agreed to sell book publisher Simon & Schuster to Penguin Random House for $2.175 billion in cash. Now, Simon & Schuster is home to authors like Stephen King, R.L. Stine, and the Star Trek library of books for decades now. And there's new ownership. Simon & Schuster will be run as a separate entity from Penguin Random House. So basically, CBS just sold off the publishing arm, but they're still going to be dealing directly with Simon & Schuster. So who knows how this will affect, book releases in the upcoming year. So I guess we'll just have to, stay tuned. Let's go on to the geek news. And we begin geek news with Blade Runner. Now, Blade Runner will be getting a new origin comic in a new series from Titan Comics. The comic series will be called Blade Runner Origins, and will be set a decade before the events of the Ridley Scott movie. The year is 2009, and LAPD Detective Cal is investigating the suspicious death of a scientist inside the Tyrell Corporation, which might not be the suicide it was reported as. The series is written by Milo Brown, Kay Perkins, and Mike Johnson, with art by Fernando D'Agino. D'Agino told the Hollywood Reporter, quote, "The cyber-noir world developed in this masterpiece movie has forged my imagination ever since I was a kid. As an artist, I felt privileged to be expanding this dark and complex universe and honored to be part of its history, contributing together with a fantastic team of creators to imagine this unique prequel that will not only answer questions to the origins of the series, but also link, as any speculative sci-fi story should, with modern-day conflicts and concerns," unquote. Now, Blade Runner Origin comes out to comic book stores on digital format on February 24th. FCC Chairman Ashit Pai will be leaving when the new Biden administration takes office on January 20th. Pai has been on the Federal Communication Commission since 2012, becoming the chairman during the Trump administration. Now, Mr. Pai's most controversial move during his term has been the scuttling of the net neutrality rules. It's expected that the new Democratic majority on the commission will reinstate those rules. John Barrowman will be returning to Doctor Who for this year's Christmas special. Barrowman's Captain Jack Harkness hasn't been seen since Torchwood ended in 2011, although he did make a brief appearance in Season 12's Episode 5, Fugitive of the Judoon. This year's special will be called Revolution of the Daleks, and will see Captain Jack helping out the 13th Doctor and her companions as they uncover a plan by the Daleks, with the Doctor locked up in a space prison. It is up to Jack to save the Earth. In a statement, John Barrowman said, quote, "Putting it on Jack's coat and setting foot back on the set of Doctor Who was just like going back home. It's always thrilling to play Captain Jack. He's a character very close to my heart who changed my life, and to know the fans love him as much as I do makes his return even sweeter. I hope everyone enjoys Jack's heroic adventure with 13. Unquote. That might be an interesting thing to watch. Director and screenwriter Chris Columbus, speaking with Collider, revealed that he has a script for Gremlins 3 all written, and that if he were to make it today, the Gremlins would still remain performed by puppets and not done in CGI. He said, quote, "I would love to do it. I wrote a script, so there is an existing script. We're working out some rights issues right now, so we're just trying to figure out when the best time to make that film would be. I would still do it the same way. I would do it as tangible puppets, not CGI, maybe having, we had one stop motion scene in the first Gremlins, but I don't think I'd use much CGI in Gremlins 3, unquote. Now, so far, there's been really no movement toward the third movie. However, a prequel series called Gremlins Secrets of the Mogwai is currently in development at HBO Max and will debut in 2021. The 2021 Hugo Awards, which are handed out at the 79th World Science Fiction Convention, will have a new category, Best Video Game. This special category was created by the 2021 organizers of the con, DisCon 3. Now, DisCon 3 co-chairman Colette Fozard, in the announcement statement, said, quote, "Since early 2020, many of us have spent more time gaming than we ever expected. This award will offer fans an opportunity to celebrate the games that have been meaningful, joyful, and exceptional over this past year," unquote. Now, the Hugo Study Committee is considering making the category permanent. The 79th World Science Fiction Convention will take place in Washington, D.C. from August 25th to August the 29th, 2021. And if you ever want to see what one of those looks like, go over to Sci-Fi for Me's YouTube page. They did the convention back when it was in Kansas City, so you can basically see, what kind of goes on at a convention like that. I highly recommend going over there. Netflix has announced a new animated movie coming to the service in the fall of 2021 called Back to the Outback. The movie will feature the voice cast of, this is really in the wrong category. Hold on here. And finally tonight, Star Trek producer Herbert F. Solo has passed away at the age of 89. Herb will be best known as the producer who sold NBC on Star Trek. Now, he was hired by Lucille Ball to revive Desilu Studios after she had divorced Desi Arnaz. During his tenure there, he produced Star Trek, Mission Impossible, and Mannix. Mission Impossible and Mannix, he sold those to CBS, but CBS already had Lost in Space, so they weren't interested in Star Trek. So he turned to NBC, where he had previously worked as a teleagent and director of daytime programming, and sold the show to them. Now, Solo was a big believer in Roddenberry's vision for Star Trek and helped him refine the show's pitch, even when other Desilu execs warned Lucy that the show would be an expensive disaster. He and Gene convinced Lucy to proceed with it. He later worked for MGM Studios in 1996. Herb, along with Robert Justman, wrote Inside Star Trek, The Real Story. Herb Solo died on November 19th at the age of 89. We also remember the original Darth Vader, David Prouse. David was born in Bristol, England on July 1st, 1935, and as a boy he was disadvantaged when it came to schooling, but he soon found a passion for bodybuilding and went on to win the British weightlifting competition several times in the 60s. His broad physique and towering figure would lend well to his new role in acting. He first appeared in the 1956 episode of The Edge of Night. Now, during his pre-Star Wars career, he acted in the 60s Casino Royale movie, The Beverly Hillbillies, The Saint, The Horror of Frankenstein, A Clockwork Orange, Doctor Who, The Tomorrow People, Little House on the Prairie, and Space 1999. But it was 1977 in which he would play his most famous role as Darth Vader. Now, he had been offered the choice of Vader or Chewbacca, but because he didn't understand the character of Chewbacca, and he always knew that villains are always remembered, he chose the part of the Dark Lord. He was physically perfect for the part, but his English accent was deemed less than ideal, so his lines were dubbed later by American actor James Earl Jones. Now, he would come back to play Vader for Empire and Jedi, but even though he was told that he would finally be seen in Return of the Jedi, he was replaced in the big unmasking scene by Sebastian Shaw. Now, even though he suffered those indignities, he was a big supporter of the Star Wars fan community, even being named an honorary member of the famous 501st Legion Costuming Club. Now, other than Star Wars, he also appeared in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, The Benny Hill Show, and many other appearances. His final acting appearance was in a show called Mission Backup Earth in 2016. In 2000, he was made a member of the Order of the British Empire for service to his charity and to road safety. Prouse suffered from arthritis for much of his life, and in 2001, his arms became paralyzed and he was nearly killed by an infection. He also had a battle with prostate cancer in March of 2009 and retired from public appearances in 2016. According to his daughter, Prouse passed away this past Sunday after a bout with COVID-19. He was 85. And that brings us to the end of the sci-fi news. Now be sure to check us out on social media. We're at Twitter at Multiverse Tom. We're also on Facebook and Instagram as well. And if you'd like to contribute some money, please visit mtpodcast.com to go to the Coffee, Patreon, or Glow.fm links, and or visit Multiverse Tonight and hit that support me link at the top of the page. And be sure to come over to multiversetonight.com, check out the affiliate marketplace links, the link to the TeePublic store, our show notes, and so much more. If you're a subscriber, be sure to share us with your friends, and if you're brand new to the show, please be sure to subscribe and leave me with some feedback. Let me know how we're doing. You know, all I want to do is know. Special thanks to Shane Ivers for the intro music and Lobo Loco for the outro theme music. Now, thanks for watching the sci-fi edition of Multiverse Tonight. We'll be back in just a couple of days with a brand new comic book edition and 2 more weeks for a brand new sci-fi edition. Now, please exit the universe in an orderly fashion. Good night. Multiverse Tonight is a production of Half-Baked Genre Productions, copyright 2020, all rights reserved. One down, one to go. My nose is itchy. So, got any thoughts so far? Let's see here. See if anything's. The world is an absolute mess right now. What's going on? Wondering if. Hold on here. Was looking over my camera shot here, and it's like I'm just a tad almost washed out. You know, I have the back door open right now because my wife likes to open the doors and keep the doors open even in the middle of winter. But I was looking at it, yeah, I'm kind of washed out. Oh well. The focus of this podcast is not video, it's audio. So, all right, we're all set up for the next edition here. So let's do it. And a 1 and a 2, and this is how we do. Tonight, Wonder Woman 1984 has a distribution plan. Deadpool 3 goes out for Bob's Burgers, and Red Sonja goes multiversal. All that and more on the comics edition of Multiverse Tonight. Comic books, sci-fi, fantasy, and more. If you're looking for a roundup of geeky news, you're in the right place. This is Multiverse Tonight. here's your host, Thomas Townley. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 105 of Multiverse Tonight. I'm your host, Thomas Townley. And, it's pretty much just another day. I mean, folks, we are starting to be in the dead of winter. Yeah, kind of. You know, it's already snowed here once. And it's getting cold. It's looking like it's gonna snow here again this week. And you know, we're just kind of in a waiting game till this year ends. I think we'll all just let a big sigh of relief when it does. But until then, you know, I have a little news for you. So let's get on with it, shall we? Let's start with the DC comic news. The CW's Black Lightning series will finally flash out and become Thunder, as it's been announced that Season 4 will be its last. The series debuted back in January of 2018. Now, reports say that the CW asked the producers, who put in a backdoor pilot for a Painkiller spin-off show. The final season will start in spring of 2021. Wonder Woman 1984 will be coming out this Christmas both on HBO Max and in theaters, but it will only be a 1 month in limited engagement on the streaming service and at no additional cost. Now after that, it will be available as a video-on-demand rental, and then we'll probably go back to HBO Max until the end of time. According to Variety, the reasoning for this was the fear that Wonder Woman would get stale if the sequel opened more than 4 years after the first Wonder Woman movie. Now, Wonder Woman star Gal Gadot, a statement about the release said, quote, "It's time. We've all waited a long time for this one to come. I can't tell you how excited I am for all of you to see this movie. It wasn't an easy decision, but we never thought we'd have to hold on to the release for such a long time. But COVID rocked all our worlds. We feel the movie has never been so relevant, and we hope that it'll bring some joy, hope, and love to your hearts. Wonder Woman 1984 is a special one for me, and I can only hope it'll be a special to you as well. To you too. We've put our hearts and souls into it, so you can watch it in theaters. They're doing an amazing job keeping it safe, and you can watch it on HBO Max from your homes. Sending you my love. Please keep safe and wear a mask. Happy holidays to all of us. Let the light shine in," unquote. Now, international markets will get to see Wonder Woman 84 a bit earlier than the U.S. market, as they'll be released everywhere else on December 16th. Now, it's unknown what specific markets will have theaters open when the film is ready to be released, so, you know, your mileage may vary. But I suppose this is very good news. You know, this at least gives us something to watch on Christmas Day, since, you know, Apple took away Charlie Brown's Christmas, and you know, except for one viewing on PBS. Spoil sports. Well, The Flash has had to temporarily shut down its production after a crew member tested positive for COVID-19. The production has begun contact tracing. Apparently, the person was asymptomatic. I hope everyone on the production is safe. HBO Max will be the home for Oscar winner Ava DuVernay's new 4-part limited series, DMZ. Now, DMZ was originally a comic book series from Vertigo that ran for 72 issues from 2005 to 2012. The series is set in a second American Civil War and will star Benjamin Bratt and Rosario Dawson. Now, here's the official description, quote, "In the near future, America is embroiled in a bitter civil war, leaving Manhattan a demilitarized zone. Destroyed and isolated from the rest of the world, leaping off the pages of the popular comic DMZ chronicles the harrowing journey of fearless and fierce medic Alama Ortega, Rosario Dawson, who sets out on a harrowing journey to find the son she lost in the evacuation of New York City at the onset of the conflict. Throwing gasoline on the flames of that conflict is Parco Delgado, Benjamin Bratt, the popular and deadly leader of one of the most powerful gangs in the DMZ. He wants to rule this new world and will stop at nothing to secure that outcome. In this adrenalized and expansive drama which examines the stark political and cultural divide in American society, Alma must contend with the gangs, militias, demagogues, and warlords that control this lawless no-man's land. In doing so, she becomes the unlikely source of what everyone here has lost, hope, unquote. Now, the pilot episode was in production before COVID-19 shut things down, and the rest of the episodes should be produced sometime in 2021. Now, let's go to the Marvel news. Black Panther 2 will go in front of cameras in July of 2021, but still no word on how they plan to address the role of T'Challa after Chadwick Boseman's passing. But it has been confirmed that Chadwick will not be recreated using CGI. The Hollywood Reporter does mention that production will take place in and around the Atlanta area and will last for the last half of 2021. Disney has honored what would have been actor Chadwick Boseman's 44th birthday with some new opening credits to Black Panther on Disney+. The movie now opens with a montage of Boseman's work as Black Panther and then the Marvel logo in all purple. Marvel tweeted out the opening with, quote, long live the king, hashtag Wakanda forever, unquote. Disney will be making a third Deadpool movie. This time, the script will be written by Bob's Burgers veteran writers Wendy Molyneux and Lisa Molyneux-Loughlin. Apparently, they fit what Ryan Reynolds and Disney were looking for. Most likely, the film will not be under the Disney banner, but the 20th Century banner. Now, Deadpool creator Rob Liefeld commented on Twitter about the news, saying, quote, super excited for Deadpool 3, but consistent with what I've stated, still maintaining you should prepare for a bit of a wait, as it would be 2 years from start of filming to in any perfect condition. With what we've all experienced, could be even longer. High hopes, great movement, unquote. Now, Daredevil fans are currently trying to campaign for a Disney Plus series or MCU movie now that the rights have reverted back to Marvel Studios. Fans are asking other fans to list the reasons why Marvel should make a new Daredevil series or movie with the hashtag #SaveDaredevil. The voice of Magneto from the X-Men, the animated series, has passed away. The English-born actor has had a long career starring in Gene Roddenberry's Earth Final Conflict, making appearances in La Femme Nikita, Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future, Witchblade, The Outer Limits, and voice roles in shows like Mythic Warriors Guardians of the Legend, Redwall, The Adventures of Sam and Max, Freelance Police, The Never-Ending Story, the TV series, Wildcats, Covert Action Teams, Tales from the Crypt Keeper, Highlander, the animated series, Brain Scan, Tech War, and Tech War Tech Lords, Short Circuit 2, and many, many other shows and movies. He passed away in Toronto on November 16th. He was 79 years old. And we also remember Marvel Executive Vice President, former Marvel Executive Vice President that is, Mike Hobson, who has died at the age of 83. Marvel said in a statement on Twitter, quote, the Marvel family mourns the passing of Mike Hobson, a visionary and pillar of what Marvel Comics is today. Mike's passion and love of storytelling opened the doors for fans around the world to join the Marvel Universe, and his legacy will live on for generations to come, unquote. Now, while at Marvel, Hobson was responsible for forming the editorial staff, as well as overseeing marketing, distribution, and productions of all Marvel comics and graphic novels, and he also acted as the company's London liaison. Now let's go to the geek news. Next year is going to have a lot of Sonya, other than Red. Dynamite Entertainment is letting Red Sonja face other Red Sonjas from across the multiverse in a new series entitled Sonyaversal. The series is from writer Christopher Hassens and artist Pasquale Quilano, and will have Red meet Blue Sonja, who is described as being ripped out of an 80s action blockbuster, Green Sonja, who has a dinosaur sidekick, Mecha Pilot Sonja, and many, many more. Mr. Hastings, in a statement, said, quote, my favorite projects are the ones where I ask, how are they letting me do this? And in this case, Dynamite isn't just letting me do this, they've explicitly asked me to. Our mission with Sonyaversal is to go as big as possible, and our only enemy is restraint. That said, I'm just a writer, and I can say things like Red Sonja jumps out of Blue Sonja's helicopter to drive her sword through Giant Ape Sonja's gargantuan skull all day. But it means nothing without Pasquale to make it all look amazing. I can't wait for everyone to see what he does with this comic. Unquote. The series launches in February. Deadline.com reports that Ellie Bamper from Nocturnal Animals, Kaylee Spaney from Craft Legacy, and Erin Kellyman from Solo are currently in negotiations for the 3 female lead roles in Disney Plus's Willow series. Now, Warwick Davis has already been tapped to reprise the role of Willow from the original movie. Super Nintendo World has an opening date at Universal Studios Japan. Now, the attraction was set to open on February 4th, 2021. It was originally supposed to open this past summer, but coronavirus. The park will have rides based on Mario Kart and Yoshi. We'll have Bowser and Peach's Castle, and power-up bands that will enable guests to complete challenges, collect virtual coins, and items. Well, sounds kind of fun. I have a nephew over in Japan. Maybe I can talk him into, going there at some point, and sending back some sort of report. Maybe if I can just talk him into it. Oh, nephew. Jeopardy greatest of all time, Ken Jennings has been named Jeopardy's first temporary host. Now, he'll be followed by other guest hosts until a new permanent host is revealed. In a statement, Jeopardy's executive producer, Mike Richards, said, quote, Alex believed in the importance of Jeopardy and always said that he wanted the show to go on after him. We will honor Alex's legacy by continuing to produce the show he loved with smart contestants and challenging clues. By bringing in familiar guest hosts for the foreseeable future, our goal is to create a sense of community and continuity for our viewers. Unquote. Now, Jennings' first episode will be Monday, January 11th. A copy of Detective Comics number 27 from 1939 with a CGC grade of 7.0, which Detective Comics number 27 was the first appearance of Batman, has sold at auction for $1.5 million, being the old record of $1.075 million, which was a copy of the CGC grade 8.0. Now, according to the Comics Guarantee Company, only 7 unrestored copies of Detective Comics number 27 are known to exist. Who knows, in that old house, maybe there's a copy somewhere behind the walls waiting to be found. Could it be in your house? Get a hammer and find out. I don't recommend getting a hammer and finding out, just to be sure. Mads Mikkelsen will be officially replacing Johnny Depp in the 3rd Fantastic Beasts movie. Warner Brothers finally officially confirmed the report from Deadline.com that Mads will be taking the role of Dark Wizard Gellert Grindelwald. Now, Johnny Depp left the role after losing a major libel suit in the United Kingdom. With the production having to restart from scratch, the release date has been pushed back to July 15th of 2022. Now, in a bit of a revenge ploy, Johnny Depp fans have started an online petition on change.org to get Johnny's ex, Amber Heard, fired from Aquaman 2. The petition currently has half of its target of 3 million signatures. So, I'm not saying go sign that. I'm not saying anything. I'm staying out of this. This has nothing to do with me. And finally tonight, Netflix has announced a brand new animated movie is coming to the service in the fall of 2021. Called Back to the Outback, the movie will feature the voice cast of Isla Fisher, Tim Minchin, Eric Bana, Guy Pearce, Miranda Tapsell, Angus Emery, Rachel House, Keith Urban, Celeste Barber, Wayne Knight, Asselin Derbez, Diesel Cash Latorca, Lachlan Ross Power, and Oscar nominee, Jackie Weaver. The movie follows a group of a zooed band of Australia's deadliest creatures as they plot to escape their confinement and go to the Australian outback. Sounds like something kids will like. Yeah, that's all I can say about that. And since you need something for kids to like, thank you very much. And that will be the end of the comic book news for this week. Now, please check us out on social media. We're at Twitter at Multiverse Tom. We're also on Facebook and Instagram as well. You know, I don't post to Facebook very often, but I'll tell you what, if you get more active checking out the Facebook page, I'll post more on Facebook. If you get more active on the Instagram, I'll post more on Instagram. You see, it's a give and take type situation. And if you'd like to contribute, financially, please visit MT Podcast or go to the support me link at the top of the page at multiversetonight.com to go to the Coffee, Patreon, Glow.fm links as well. Or if you'd like to do it another way, say through affiliate marketplace links, you can go over to multiversetonight.com and go to the TeePublic store, our show notes. There's a few great companies there that I've allied with, and if you use them, they kick back $1 or $2 to me. Now, if you're a subscriber, and I thank you for being a subscriber, I really do, be sure to share us with your friends or your worst enemies, whichever you prefer. And if you're brand new to the show, thank you. Hit the bell or the button or whatever that's on your podcatcher to subscribe, and leave us some feedback. Let me know how we're doing. I can only get better if I know what's wrong. Special thanks to Shane Ivers for the intro music and Lobo Loco for the outro theme music. Now, thanks for watching the comic book edition of Multiverse Tonight. We'll be back in 2 weeks with brand new sci-fi and comic book editions. Now, please exit the universe in an orderly fashion. I'm going to go get a bowl of ice cream. Thank you, and good night. Multiverse Tonight is a production of Half-Baked Genre Productions. Copyright 2020. All rights reserved. And if you think I could use a co-host and you want to audition, DM me anywhere. I'll audition with you. We record Mondays. If that's not a problem, we're good. Good night. All right, folks, ladies and gentlemen, or lady or gentleman, or whoever's watching, thank you for tuning in. If you're watching this on a replay later, thank you for watching. Again, be sure to enjoy the last month of 2020. Be kind. Wear a mask. Wear a mask. Wear a mask. Can't stress that enough. I work in retail, and there are still people who come into the store not wearing a mask. You're endangering me. I have to wear a mask so I don't endanger you with my germs. You can do the same for me. It's not like we're asking you to surgically attach it to your face. Besides, some places, if you don't wear a mask and they catch you, they will fine you. City of, the county of Sedgwick County, which is right next door, has already put a $500 fine if they catch you without a mask. Now, they're not actually going out searching for people, but who knows. Anyway, as I said, I'm going to get some ice cream. You have a lovely day.